a child, I had a favorite question. It's not unlike many other children's favorite question. It was why. And I asked it so frequently that even my ever-patient grandfather became exhausted. He became so exhausted, in fact, that he came up with an answer to my question. He would say, "Why is a crooked letter?" To which I immediately responded, "But why? Is it the only one? Does it have to be that way?" Those questions have followed me through the rest of my life. Why? Does it have to be that way? It is 1996, 7 a.m., and it's a Saturday. And I hear something coming down the hall that sounds a little bit like, "Hasta que te conocí, vi la vida con dolor." And I pull the covers over my head immediately and hope that mommy will not find me. That this Saturday cleaning frenzy will bypass me. And I know every Latina in the earshot knows the pain of those Saturday cleanings, followed only by the pain of wash day. And of course, she finds me. And she comes dancing into my room, and she opens up the blinds, letting the room flood with sunshine, and says, time to clean. And I know that if I even dare to take the rush job that I'm thinking of, those dreams of Saturday and Sunday fun with my friends are gone forever. With one swipe of her finger in the one spot I inevitably miss, I will have to start from scratch. Why are you so obsessed with cleaning? I wouldn't understand. It would take years for me to understand that she was teaching me to contain the mess. Because what you show determines how you're treated. It's 1994, and I am running around outside at my grandfather's house with my cousins Suli and Jose. And Suli is older than I am and cooler than I am. I'm also very annoying at this time. And she wants nothing to do with me. And all I want is her to play with me and to be as cool as she is. And she's having none of it. And so just as I'm crying and whining and ready to go to my grandfather and make her play with me, it's time to go to church. And we shuffle into the caravan and we get ready to go. And my mother looks back at my frowning face and she says, "No sea malcriada, cambia la cara." You were raised better than that. Change your face. And I say, I don't understand. What does my face have to do with how I'm raised? I'm upset. Why can't my face be this way? It took a while for me to learn. It's 2016. I woke up one day and my arms and my legs would not move. It would take months and months of doctors upon doctors to ask and figure out why. I am in the trauma room at Boston Medical Center with my husband Vince, and I am waiting and excited because today I find out what's wrong with me. Today, I find out how to get back to normal. And so Dr. Otis walks in, head of the neurology department. He asks, "How are you doing, Nichole?" And I say, "Well, I've been better. My legs are full of electric shocks. I can't feel my hand, and I need help to get to the bathroom on most days of the week. So I really hope you have something for me." Well, you see, I worked with a bunch of my colleagues. I ran all the tests I can think of. And if you weren't so smart, if you weren't so articulate, if you weren't so accomplished, really, if you were one of my other patients, I would tell you you're crazy. And before I even had the chance to process, the rage just filled me up. I was furious for the women who came before me, for all of the women who were not believed, for all the women who didn't tidy their mess, who didn't change their face before they came to the doctor. I was seething. And I knew in that moment I was not safe there. And I wondered, why does it have to be this way? Why do we have to hide? It is 2018. And I am doing the thing that I got in trouble for the most as a teenager. I am talking to friends online that I've never met. Yes, folks. And not just any friends. We call ourselves the unicorns. We are the first, the onlys, and the ones that are breaking barriers in our industries. And we come together in this group based on a love of a shoe brand. And we spill our secrets to one another. We tell our struggles. We talk about the things that pain us. And we ask for help. We create such a bond that when I found out I need surgery for endometriosis to see if that's related to my symptoms, I go to the unicorns and I say, "What do I do? Has anyone dealt with this? They're saying it will cost me $20,000 and I'm going to need a walker. I can't afford it and I'm ashamed." And the unicorns start a GoFundMe. They raise tens of thousands of dollars. They get a special walker from the Netherlands over to the US so that I can walk on my own without asking my husband for help. And I wonder, why can't it always be this way? Why can't we always be seen and held and appreciated? And I know that we can't be safe because of the Dr. Otises of the world, because of the Sandra Blands, the Philandro Castillos, the Amadou Diallos, the list goes on and on. I know that's why we hide. But I also see the power when we can show up in our mess. It is 2020, and it's time for my surgery. And I am terrified. Not because it's surgery. I've had many surgeries before. When you live with an alphabet soup of chronic illnesses, you get used to it. But because of COVID, I have to go in alone. And you see, every other time I've had surgery, I've woken up and been told, we almost thought we lost you. But somebody, my mom, my husband, intervened and said, no, it's not asthma. Her throat closes up. She's having a reaction. Here's how you treat it. But this time, I was left to advocate for myself, and I'd be asleep. So I am terrified. And I try to tell the nurses, look, I have this thing. Oh, don't worry, honey, you're going to be okay. And her pacifying me only makes me more anxious. And I say, but wait, and she's like, don't worry, the doctors will be here soon. And they do arrive. And there's not a Dr. Otis in sight. In fact, the doctors, they look like me or my cousins. And before I even figure out, is this gonna be okay? They say, Nichole, how are you? I know it's a scary day. I've read your records, and I see that something strange happens to you after you come out of anesthesia. Let's walk through this so that I know that I got you. And I exhale. And I start crying, and through my tears, I say, you know, I knew I was gonna die today. And now I know I'll be okay. So thank you. And she looks at me and she nods down and she says, I get it. You're in good hands. And I wonder, why can't we always have it this way? Like when I'm with my friend Liz from after college, and she flies across the country, double masked, just so I'm not exposed to germs, because our apartment has been a capsule since 2020. And she comes in and she changes her clothes so that I am extra germ-free. And we sit on my couch, which is a cluttered mess. And she just scoots over the mess like it's not even there and snuggles in, and we watch terrible Netflix TV. And we laugh and we cry and we talk about how hard these years have been and how much we've missed. And we talk about how painful it's been to be isolated, to feel alone, to be sad, to experience grief. And I feel seen. I feel alive. Or like when I wake up on the morning of a workshop on courageous conversations, and I have a migraine that is piercing through my right eye, and I can't even see out of the side of my face, and I don't know what to do. So I call on a unicorn and I say, I need help. And I'm terrified to admit it. But I have this workshop and it means a lot to my business. And I can't see out of the right side of my face. And Paula says to me, I got you. Send me your slides, send me your notes. I will run everything on the back end. Just let your genius flow. And I do. And I feel so held. And I wonder, why can't it always be like this? My name is Nichole Beiner Powell-Newman. And I help people sit in the mess. We have hard conversations so that we can break through the status quo and create a world where people aren't alone, where people can feel like they can just be. And so my question for you all is, are you willing to stop avoiding the mess? Thank you.